So I have a hard time imagining that because I was a little perturbed because when I graduated from college, I think I had to pay $100 out of my first paycheck in order to pay off my student expenses. I thought I deserved the whole paycheck for my very first paycheck, but yeah, $40,000 is not unusual.
It's not unusual, no.
Of course, that's tied to jobs.
It's very much tied to jobs, and it's part of the cycle. You know, if we have corporate accountability, we're going to have good jobs. If we have good jobs, we'll be able to provide quality education. And you know, if we value quality education, we'll find ways to make it available to folks.
It's all.
Yep, it goes back to that circle of money kind of that we were talking about.
Okay. Philosophic question for you.
All right.
Would people rather be receiving paychecks or unemployment checks?
So what I hear when I talk to people, and we talk to a lot of folks who are unemployed, and what they tell us is that what they want is to be able to put food on the table for themselves and their family. They want a job that's going to allow them to do that. They don't want handouts. They want to take care of themselves. Yeah,
and those handouts are not handouts anyways because they have paid taxes.
They've paid taxes for it
to go into that, and it does not cover all that much.
No,
you really can't raise a family on unemployment.
No, you can't. You can't. And you know, yes, it is taxpayer. It is our tax dollars that fund unemployment, absolutely. But that there is something about having a job. There's something about just the pride of being able to go to work every day. And that's something that's missing from the conversation about, you know, unemployment numbers. It's very seldom talked about what it does to human beings to be without work, to be without the ability to take care of themselves and their family.
Yeah. When people meet other people, you know, one of the first questions is, what do you do, or who do you work for? Yeah, and if you could say, well, I used to be a carpenter.
I used to be a teacher. I used to be a secretary. Yeah. Those are some of the most heartbreaking moments when people say that.
Yes, and that has dire effects in family life as well. And I've even seen figures that affects the mortality rate. It's really widespread. It's like putting a stone into a pool of water. There's just all kinds of ripples that go out. So, having tackled that subject, let's do something non-controversial.
Okay.
Taxes.
Taxes.
Yeah. Most people, you know, in their serious moments, know that we need taxes to pay for our society. You know, roads, bridges, teachers, public safety, national defense, safe food, safe drugs. You know, the list goes on and on. As you know, Oliver Wendell Holmes, the Supreme Court Justice, said, you know, taxes are the price we pay for civilized society. You know, what do people tell you about taxes? The people that Working America contacts.
Sure. Well, I think what we hear mostly about taxes is folks know that it's important to have quality of life things. People want to have good schools. People want to have safe roads. People want these things. What they don't want to see is them paying the lion's share for it. Folks want to make sure that, you know, that the very rich and corporations are paying a fair share to get the same things that they're benefiting from.
So how is the tax structure set up in the state of Minnesota as far as in general terms? We have we used to teach about a progressive tax system. I used to teach about it. Hopefully my students used to learn from that. But as your income went up, the percent that you were asked to pay, had to pay in income taxes would go up. Is that system still in place?
I know that right now, there are loopholes that allow corporations to pay less than their fair share. I know that average Minnesotans pay a higher tax percentage than some of the very rich.
Okay, so people are paying us. People in the middle class, the working stiffs. We are paying a higher percentage than people making more than $150,000 or $200,000 a year.
I believe that that's accurate.
Yeah, that's a general statement. The figures may be off just slightly. It was like 12% versus 10% with the average person paying the higher percent as compared to the upper income.
And then that's what folks are concerned about. They're concerned that others aren't paying their fair share.
Okay. Now, income tax is one type of tax. Another type of tax that we know very well involves local property taxes. What's happened to local property taxes in Minnesota in recent years?
Minnesota's a pretty big state. What I do know about property taxes is that the people we speak to, and a lot of folks in the northern suburbs, a lot of folks that I've been talking to in Anoka and Champlin, Blaine, have some real concerns as they see the budget crisis continue, that it's going to be their property taxes that make up the difference. And so that goes back to them wanting to make sure that we're taking a balanced approach when it comes to the budget.
Okay. Shifting subjects here.
Sure.
Richard Trumka, who is the national president of AFL-CIO, recently said in the last few weeks, maybe a couple months ago, he said to Wall Street financial leaders, "I am not your ATM." I wonder if you know anything about that statement and exactly what he meant.
Sure. Really simply put, we as a country bailed out Wall Street and those big banks, right?
Okay, we bailed.
We bailed them out. And at the same time, they took that money, made profits, gave CEOs bonuses, and raised fees on working and middle class families, raised ATM fees, raised check fees. They raised all those fees on us. What we're saying is we're not going to be their ATM anymore. Okay. And we've made that statement by actually having folks stand in front of these banks with signs that say, "I am not your ATM," and sent those on to those CEOs as well as posting them on the website.
Okay. So you had mentioned in several of your answers earlier about members of Working America. If a person goes to your website and signs up as a member, what kind of dues do they have to pay? What kind of benefits are available?
So membership in Working America is free.
Free?
It's free. We are a nonprofit, so if folks want to go ahead and make voluntary dues payments, we'll certainly be happy to have them, but it's not a requirement. We're about strength in numbers. As members of Working America, folks get access to a number of things. They get access to an organization called Shop Union Plus, which allows them to shop with the buying power of the union.
Okay.
They get access to some healthcare savings accounts, some legal services.
Okay. And Lynn, our award-winning director, Roger Carlson, is telling me that we have about 1 minute left. So I'm just going to have to thank you so much for coming today and sharing the vision of Working America with us as we focus on the job crisis. And people can go to that website. They can make contact with Working America, and with well-informed citizens being actively engaged in our society, we can meet this job crisis and other issues that come before us. So, on behalf of Minnesota State Retiree Council, AFL-CIO, thanks to you, Lynn, the field director of Working America in Minnesota, and I thank you for coming, and I thank our viewers for watching.